3 of the statements are true, 1 is false. Identify the false statement. Cosine of pi over 6 equals cosine 11 pi over 6. All right, so the cosine of pi over 6, all right, let's see here, is the square root of 3 over 2. The reason why I know that is because of 30, 60, 90 triangles. Pi over 6 is 30 degrees, so we have 30 degrees, 60 degrees, and a right angle. I'm just using this triangle right here. I'm just separating it so that it's a little easier to read. And this is a special right triangle with side lengths of x, 2x, and x times the square root of 3. So the sine of 30 degrees is x over 2x, which is 1/2. However, the cosine of 30 degrees is x times the square root of 3 over 2x, which is the square root of 3 over 2, when the hypotenuse is 1, which is what we're dealing with here. Therefore, cosine of pi over 6 is the square root of 3 over 2. The cosine of 11 pi over 6, well, the line here is the same length as this line. Therefore, it's also the square root of 3 over 2. So this is true. We can eliminate it. Cosine squared of 7 pi over 6. So the cosine here is going to be negative square root of 3 over 2. But if we square that, that becomes 3 over 4. So this is true. We can eliminate that. Cosine of pi over 6, which is the square root of 3 over 2, is greater than the cosine of pi over 2. Cosine of pi over 2 is 0. There's no horizontal line that we can draw from the y-axis to the point. This is where cosine is 0. Square root of 3 over 2 is greater than 0. This is about 0.86 or so. So this is true. Eliminate it. Finally, cosine of 5 pi over 6, so this is negative square root of 3 over 2, is less than cosine pi. Now cosine pi is negative 1 because this is where the max length, so the longest line that you can draw from the y-axis to the point, however, it is negative. So negative 1. So cosine, this value here, which is this line right there, while the line itself is shorter than this line, this one's just more negative. So this is like negative 0.8 something, and this one is negative 1. Therefore, this is larger number than this number. So the answer here is D.